Cool. Okay, cool. You should have a notification says recording in progress. They want you to know that we're recording, so you can
Yes.
kick this off. Okay, so thank you all for coming to the Fall Western Area meeting. And as you know, we've been talking a lot about membership retention, how to get people, all of that. Well, I'm at a seminar. Did any of you ladies go to seminar in Louisiana? No? I
Did
have to
not.
tell you, the beignets are great. And it was really mighty hot and humid. So I'm very appreciative coming back to California. But we have two wonderful ladies here, Karen Gallagher and Jennifer Holmes from the Eight Flags chapter, Needlepointers. So did I say it right? Eight Flags
Mhm.
Needlepoint chapter, K-Char. Can you tell me your full name, please? Is it Catherine?
That's Kim Griffin.
Kim Griffin.
Oh, hi, Kim. Okay.
Hi.
Okay. And then they're going to, we had a lovely, lovely dinner one night, and they were telling me the innovative ways they have been doing in their chapter. Because we've talked about in the past, we've had some, kind of negative people, right? Remember we talked about that? And also, how do we go and recruit people and where can we meet? Well, I'm just going to turn it over. I think you read their bios, right? And all the things they've done. I'm going to turn to first to Karen and Jennifer so we can get our guests up and running and letting us know what they've done. It's really pretty remarkable. So I'm going to turn over to Karen first, and then Jennifer's going to talk about being out there. Or not being out there. She is out there, right, Jennifer? Now, Karen, I have to tell you, she's my colleague in crime. So I'm the Western area. She's South Central. No, right?
Southeast.
Southeast, sorry. I
Yeah,
get this mixed up. I got to really learn the parts of the United States, somehow. Geography was not my strongest suit, but
But you put a map out there, so
yeah, I did put a map out there. That's
that
right.
the map was good. Yeah.
Yes.
Jennifer
Thank
and
you.
I actually come as a duo, so we might have some overlap in what we
Okay, so I'm
looking
going
at.
to turn this over to Jennifer and Karen. Go ahead, ladies.
So Eight Flags Needle Pointers was losing members, and there were some negative members, like nothing would be right. There'd be people that always wanted to not just second guess, but let people know what was going wrong. And so I was a new member, and Jennifer and another member who had been a member for some time, um, her name was Gail. We just happened to be talking one night about what can we do? Like what was going on in the guild, and what could we do to make some difference? And I was elected president, and I had been a consultant in my business for a while, and so I just put my consultant hat on, and I did what I do when I go into companies that were having some problems. And I brought the board together, and I asked a question, and I said, I want you to think about why you joined a guild to begin with. What are the reasons that you joined a guild? And I gave everybody some sticky notes, and I said, just write one reason on a sticky note, and you can have several reasons, but just write one reason per sticky note. And then when you get that reason, put it up on the wall. And in our case, it happened to be a uh, big window. And then as you go up, take a look at what other people have up there. And if your reason is pretty close to somebody else's reason, just put it under that reason. And we came up with people that we started to build up onto some really good information about why the board members said they joined a guild. So first of all, we had a lot of education. They joined the guild for education. They joined the guild for building community. They wanted a community. They joined the guild because they wanted a welcoming environment. And And while they might have said it in different words, they recognized that those words were important. And they could see that their words might have been different and their phrasing might have been different, but it fit in within what other people were saying. So that's what the board was saying. Then we went out with a survey monkey to our membership and we asked the same question. Why did you join the guild? And guess what? Same reasons. People said, I'm joining the guild for the exact same reasons. And then we brought that back to the board and we said, what are we going to do about this? So the board decided we had to become the example for what we wanted to set. So how do we become welcoming? And we decided to do, I don't know if you have Moe's out where you are living, you know, the welcome to Moe's. You know, when you walked through a Moe's restaurant, they would say, welcome to Moe's. And you would, and part of that was so that the people in Moe's would recognize that you walked through the door and that you would feel part of their community. And we decided we were going to do that every time somebody walked through the doors of our guild. We would say, hey, welcome. Glad you're here. If we knew their name, we would talk about their name. And it wouldn't just be one person on the board, it would be everybody who was on the board. And as we did that, what we started to see was other members in the guild, without being asked to do it, were starting to do it.
And
Because that was what was becoming important in the guild, and people will emulate what becomes important. When we did something, we would actually say, this is part of our leg of education. This is educational. This is about community building. And when we do something, it doesn't have to be something that the American Needle Pointers Guild would be sanctioning. So we just had a community building event that was building Nantucket baskets. We have a member who teaches Nantucket basket building, and it's a community building, and you can come in and build Nantucket baskets. And there's a price for the materials, but our member who teaches that, it's certainly not something that the ANG has under their auspices, and it is educational, but it's not an ANG education, but it is about building community. After our meetings, we talk about we're going to lunch. Whoever wants to go to lunch, everybody's invited to go to lunch, not just a clique of people who always go to lunch together.
Mm-hmm.
No more cliques. And we had a naysayer in our group. Whenever she opened her mouth, we would sort of roll our eyes. You knew something negative was going to come out of her mouth.
And come on, ladies, all of us have expressed one naysayer, right?
We have them. And
We
one
have them
day,
in all the chapters. We have talked about that. But go ahead. I'm sorry, Karen. It
no,
just it strikes a chord.
everybody's
Eh,
got them. And we have more than one, but one day this person got up and said, I just want to show appreciation for so and so and what they have done for this guild. And honestly, many of us, our mouths dropped because this is not who this person had been,
right.
but she had been sitting through us giving appreciation to other members. She had been sitting through us recognizing what other people had done to the guild. And it all started with the board making the decision that we were going to be warm and welcoming to everybody who walked through the door. And then once we had gotten that behavior down, the next behavior was we're going to be appreciative to people for what they had done. And then recently we had instituted an appreciation. It's just a letter. Was there a needle minder that we put with that,
yes,
Jennifer?
yes.
A needle minder that anybody who had taught a class or who had to our guild or who had led a program, um, they were recognized in front of the entire group, and they were given a letter and a needle minder, and we were showing appreciation for what they gave back. And it didn't, I mean, a needle minder didn't cost that much. It was a letter. It was personalized with their name and what they had done, not just a general thank you for what you've done to the guild, but thank you, Karen, for leading this, or thank you, Jennifer, for leading that. And we gave them that letter. And that's the appreciation, so that people start to see that that's a behavior that we have. And we have talked about, just because you have your friendships in the guild doesn't mean those are the only friendships that you can have, that there are other people coming into the guild who, just like we were all new at one time, when you don't know who to sit next to and you don't know like where the bathroom is and you don't know when you can ask a question, you need to welcome people into your guild and have them sit near you.
It doesn't
And
cost anything.
it doesn't, it
Right.
It
doesn't.
doesn't cost a dime just to say hello with a smile.
And we doubled our membership in 5 years, less than 5 years, but I'll say 5 years. We've doubled our membership, and honestly, it's because people and people feel welcome. And we added a kindness committee where it's just sending cards out to bereavement cards, or people who are sick or something happens in their family. And we've had members say, I joined because I heard that there was a kindness committee and I want to be part of that community. These don't really cost us anything. In fact,
Mm-mm.
even the cards are donated to us. We ask for cards. So it was just going on saying, what do you want from your guild? And then how do we as a board model the behavior of what you want and keeping that in front of everybody, and the guild board supporting that. That's what we did.
Thank you. Yeah.
Jennifer, I mean,
Yeah.
you
So
can
I
build
want to
on that.
build on what Karen talked about. And remember that she talked about that the board picked education is obvious, but welcoming and community. So I'm going to bounce off of what she was saying with being welcoming to how did that create community and what specific actions we did that people come back to us and say how much they appreciate it. So one thing I want to build on is Karen was talking about when people walk in, everybody turns around and looks at who's walked in the door, and multiple people will say hi and say their name. And if someone doesn't know them, whoever does know them or a board member will get up and will immediately walk up to them and say, hi, who are you? Let me introduce you to the group. Is that they also make sure that they find them a seat. They don't leave them standing at front of the room with just a hi.
Yeah.
That there's always people moving chairs around, and again, as Karen said, it's an emulated behavior. It started with the 4 board members doing it, and now other people do it. That when someone walks in, they look around and go, how many people are at my table? And they scooch, and somebody gets up and gets a chair and adds it to the table and says, please come sit with us. And they make sure that throughout the meeting that they are welcomed. One of the other things that we did to build on that is that we started to, which it helped if soon as you started to have more members, but I'm sure you all are experiencing that it's the same people in the same leadership roles over and over, right? Is
Right.
that we decided, and largely this is from Karen's background, that we figured out how to implement this, was that whenever we have an event or we're going to do programs, is we ask for assistance and we let people decide what and how much they want to take on. So we never start out with who's going to lead or who's going to be the chairperson. If people in the board need to be the touch point person, then that's what we'll do. So like we have a holiday party coming up, is that we had like 5 people volunteer, and it was an email to say, what do you want to do? Okay, this person is going to do the table for, we do a best piece People's Choice type award. We do our challenge. Someone's going to set up that table. They'll have lights and netting and all that kind of stuff, and they'll make sure that there are numbers labeled. They'll make sure that there are ballots printed out. Someone else is the only thing they're doing is favors. They're going to find a favor that goes with the theme. That's all they're going to do. We have somebody who's completely doing the community. So instead of it becoming a production to do events, it allowed people to feel like they were contributing without feeling like they were taking on a whole committee.
But
And
eventually
from
it
that,
builds up their confidence to eventually lead. That's the
yes,
thing, right?
because
Okay.
exactly. So what we've
All right.
seen from that is more and more people willing to take steps. And so now we have people coming into the board who are relatively new, and we're not doing the same members over and over. We have new people coming in different roles. So with the exception of Karen, who's on her second term as president, is all the other roles in the other 3 elected positions are all new people that, so one of them is on her second term or her second year, but the treasurer and secretary are new, so it's nice. We've even had people who left because of physical limitations, like arthritis in hands and that kind of stuff, have come back because they've realized that since we are community, even though they're not stitching, they can still be part of the group and come and participate and do things, because even though we always have a program, every month has a program of some sort in which we're doing some sort of stitching, is that they can come and they're like, it doesn't matter if I'm not doing the program, I feel part of the community. Right. One of the other things that we did was the membership committee. We developed a membership committee, and we made sure that our vice president position focuses solely on membership. Some of you, your bylaws may have your VP doing other things. And what we decided, and the membership supported this, is we actually changed our bylaws and made sure that the VP focuses on membership, so that regardless of what else happens, even if you have to worry about, individuals doing programs, that kind of thing, is that you have somebody who's responsible for thinking and bringing forward membership issues to the general membership and keeping that on board. And with that is that we came up with, much like how Karen was describing the 3 pillars that the board came up with for all of the chapter, his membership came up with what are the guiding principles of what should membership always be focused on. And we chose 2 words. Again, just like Karen said with our 3 words, it doesn't mean it's going to be the same for you guys, but I think you'll see that it's very similar in what you're going to end up doing. And that is that activities of membership should be focused on either retaining current members, which is building that community, or recruiting new members. So focusing on those 2 things allows membership to not worry about doing other things, like being pulled into the Christmas party, or being pulled into a library event or something like that. It's that their focus then is, okay, are we doing an activity like going to see a movie together and planning a movie that we know a whole bunch of people will like, and then go have appetizers and coffee afterwards, because that helps retain members because they feel part of a community. So with that, I want to close by saying to you is that some of these ideas, you're like, well, yes, we kind of already do that, right? But maybe you haven't solidified it with your people. We're just trying to give you nuggets. But I want to leave you with this, is that you may not know from this small time with Karen and I, but both of us are actually introverts. Okay, we have a very small select of very close friends. And that's our preferred time is in small people that we feel close to. However, both of us, because we love this guild and we have come to love the people in our chapter, have said, okay, we have to step out of our comfort of being introverts to be successful with this group. And as soon as you find people that you feel connected to, then you can help others also without, they don't have to be your besties. You don't have to talk about, their kids with them. You don't have to talk about, whatever's ailing them. You can talk about, just ask them how they're doing. You can just ask them what they're stitching on, and you can find many, many things to build on from stitching that make sure that within that room that you feel that they feel connected to you, and therefore they feel positive about your chapter and will feel positive about the guild. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Also, there's one thing the ladies have told me, Jennifer and Karen, that I did not know. I was totally blown away. Tell me about this place that you go and stitch at for public stitching. Now, I've been urging all my other chapters, think outside the box. Go to wineries, go to a wine bar. Go to a regular bar, actually, outside the libraries. You always have libraries at the fairs, but go to where people are. So I am going to ask them, where else have you guys gone to? Karen, Jennifer?
We actually have two, so I'll do one and Karen can do the other.
Okay,
So,
cool.
There's a national group that has started through Instagram called Le Stitch.
Mm-hmm.
And our members, so we're not leading it, it's just a stitching club. You can go out on Instagram, find Le Stitch, and see if there's a chapter, if someone has volunteered to set up meetings in your local area. And we just show up, just like they do, right? Someone's just organizing it. And we just bring our projects, we just sit quietly. If they ask us questions, of course, if they ask for help, we offer help. But we've met some great young ladies, and we've already gotten 2 members from Le Stitch who are like, oh yes, because they're ready to jump off and do more than just the basket weave and the small pieces. So that's one place we've gone. And I have not gone to IKEA, but Karen has. So I think she's better to talk about that one.
Well, actually, it was one of our other members who got us involved in IKEA, and every IKEA has their arms wide open for this. They have mahjong groups that do it. They have people who have other games that are going on, and all that they ask that you do is that you buy something to drink that when you go to their tables, and you can just pull some tables together and bring in your stitching and stitch. And they are very welcoming, and they've been great to us to bring in your stitching. And I mean, we just have moved tables around, and we do put them back. We're actually going to start a Saturday group to start stitching there on a Saturday, so that our members who aren't retired, who can come and join us on a Saturday, can stitch, because we do have stitch-ins at members' houses that usually happen during the week. So we're going to have a once a month stitch-in at IKEA, and they have been really very welcoming. And that is something that they just do across all their IKEAs if you have an IKEA. And it was one of our members who went and talked to them and said, hey, I see people playing cards here. Is this something that you do? And what do we need to do? And they said, all we ask is that you buy something at least to drink and then sit at the table.
So what do you guys think? I mean, a lot of you have IKEAs near there. It's welcoming, and
It's bright.
it's open. It's bright. It's
Very
safe.
bright. Yes.
It's safe, right? Well, you have to bring
And
in
you don't have to go
one.
through the whole store. That was
Right.
something I was surprised about.
Yeah, you just go up the
a
stairs.
side entrance that you
Yep.
can come in the side entrance, so you don't have to go through that whole maze of going through the entire store. So you can just come right in the side.
So, and we had talked about putting together extra little kits. So people's interested, you can give them one so you can start, to 10 stitch or the basket weave, just to sit there to try a few stitches. It's like, in a way, it's kind of like Costco. I just came back from Costco. You know how they do taste testing and the sales go up? Yeah, once you get them to start stitching, you kind of draw them in. So we're like the spider to the fly. I shouldn't say that. We are, but I think so. We're
No,
like the
no.
spider to the fry. Come on, Kathy. You know,
No, it is.
it
But I do want
is.
to say about La Stitch that Jennifer brought up is this is aimed toward that young stitcher who started on TikTok and, picked up stitching during COVID. It's a Stitch Club and on Instagram. And, they're probably not using great technique and they're just excited and they're doing smalls, right? They're very small projects and they're very excited about stuff. And this isn't the place to preach about
Right.
Mm-mm.
best technique or what you're doing wrong.
Waste not or anything. It's
Nothing.
okay.
But
Yeah.
when they see what you're doing and they go, what are you doing? How do
Hmm.
you do that? What's going on? And you give them some of that technique. Well, where did you learn that? And then you're able to show them some of that stuff and then like, where can you do this? And you invite them to a meeting,
Hmm.
not preachy, not you have to do this or don't do it this way. They become very, very open to it. And it's and also find out who the alpha girl is at the table. Like we know Abby's the alpha girl. And Abby we have Abby as a member now, and she's gonna kind of ring people into the into the guild because she excuse me, she's the one who's letting them know what needs to be done. And she's not even the organizer for La Stitch. It's somebody else, but she's the alpha chick at La Stitch. So we just can't be preachy.
Right. Thank
You
you
can't do it.
for that advice. Are there any questions for Jennifer and Karen?
I would just like to add that I think the not preachy is so important because when I started stitching, excuse me, there were a lot of ladies who had a list of must do's and must not do's. And they spent a lot of time hammering that in. It is not helpful. What is helpful is just to show by what you're doing and then let them ask. That's just fabulous.
I agree with you,
We
John.
all make mistakes in the beginning, but it's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like the end of the world.
I have
And-
an anecdote along that line. I flat out quit stitching for over 30 years
Oh, I'm sorry that, Barry.
because of
Mhm.
one preachy
Mm-hmm.
comment from one person. And I just put it down and walked away.
Yep.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Well, that was my mother.
Oh, oh, that's too bad. I know it's your mother.
And it's unbelievable how big a turnoff that can be.
Yes.
I mean, it's not just a casual comment in an otherwise, sunny day. It's, I mean, can be completely devastating.
Yes.
And intimidating.
Yeah.
But we don't need to do that. I mean, it's not like the end of the world. It's not world peace,
Right.
It's just having fun. And if they want to screw up their own canvas, it's not yours. You know what I mean?
If
right.
they want to show their canvas with the screw ups in it,
Yeah. Well, that's
the
their
judge
problem.
will take care of that.
Yeah. So Kathy?
I wanted to add two things to the list of not preaching. I wanted to remind everybody, I have to remind myself, especially when I hear them talking about sharing patterns and things, that's
Yes.
against the copyright. We have a lot of young cross stitchers, and instead of sneering at them or that's not really needlework, we should just welcome them. And they see the more complicated things you can do, but I see a lot of that because they're young. And anyway, the other thing I wanted to say was I started thinking when you were saying about greeting people and not just greeting them, but making sure they found a seat. And I was thinking about the various chapters that I belong to. A lot more of them are virtual now, but in both ANG and EGA, I can tell you who welcomed me to my first meeting. I can still remember every one of them. This one that came up and like, it's okay, come sit here with us, and it's like, oh good, I didn't even know where to go. There's one that didn't, and I no longer belong there. I mean, I don't think I ever really belonged there, but it is really important.
It is.
You're absolutely right, Kathy. You remember these things, and it costs nothing.
Right.
We are such a short budget, but zero, and IKEA is zero. Oh, except for, soda. How much is their soda anyway?
A meatball, just buy a
Or meatball. Oh, I love their Swedish meatballs. Come on, guys.
I
You
have a
know, There's even
question.
vegan ones now too, right, Caroline? What? Yes, Jan.
I have a
Oh.
question
Yes.
about kits.
Mm-hmm.
Preparing a kit. Could somebody elaborate what kind of a kit and how you set it up? We've done it before, and it was extremely successful for one wonderful young college girl. And she couldn't come because she was in college, but it got her stitching. But what do you recommend about what kind of a kit, what size canvas, needles, threads, patterns, etc.?
We had a lot of scrap canvas, it's not really big. So for our chapter, we're cutting out like maybe 4x4, 3x3. And what you want to do is you either do a square or heart, and you start out because there's no stretcher bars, obviously, but do a tent stitch within like an outline or Scotch stitch. SDA&G, I'll put this up here. We just published, and I'll spotlight for everybody. These bookmarks that we're giving.
Oh, cool.
Okay, these QR codes. One of them, it goes to the membership for ANG and the chapter. That's the QR codes. I can send it to you, by the way. On the back side, I got permission from the Royal School of Needlework to put down, to copy their patterns, okay, and give the QR code. Can you see it? The
Yeah.
QR code
Mhm.
or to the video. They actually have a video demonstrating this, and I received permission to do that. Okay. And then as long as, of course, we gave them credit, right? Credit to the Royal School of Needlework. Okay, Stitch Bank. So, and we gave them the code to that. The designs here are us. We stitched this. It's so I don't have to worry about royalty free. My niece says, Aunt Shirley, pick something that's bright and colorful. Okay, nothing dark, bright and colorful. So that's what you do. And I'll take this. So this is what we do to answer your question, Jan. We get sandwich bags. We put in a couple colors. We put in a bookmark or something about our guild. Okay. And a needle. There's a lot of leftover needles. People have leftover needles. Put it in there and get them started. I mean, how many half skeins do we have sitting around? Oh, come on, and all you do is, and you don't need that much to do like a 4x4 or 3x3. It's just a sample. Now you could do that. Now, Aloha chapter, they went kind of really all out. They have a young member. She's only 23, a military wife. She's actually drawing and painting their giveaway canvases.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but they can.
Wow.
She's willing to do that for them, and I forgot what the image is. It's really pretty. It's a Hawaiian flower. I forgot the name of the Hawaiian flower. I'm not botanical, sorry.
Hibiscus?
Well, yes, but very simple.
Mhm.
It's nothing very detailed, okay? Because she can't draw and paint that quickly. So each chapter usually has a stash.
Right.
So just put together, not a ton, put together maybe 5 or 6 when you go to IKEA and give those away and let people know where you are. I mean, I'm impressed with Karen and what Jennifer have done. I'm hoping you guys would get the same. That's why I begged them. Well, I didn't have to beg. They were very gracious. I know I kind of fib on that one, but they're very gracious ladies to really share their story because they really care about the national and making our chapters. I mean, this is a concern for all of us, making our chapters stronger. And what they have done is really not only change the culture, but also willing to step out despite being introverts. By the way, I'm an extrovert, if you can't tell already. So I have to put my introvert hat on sometimes, you know. But are there anything else? Because it's 4:38. We got a couple more things to talk about. Um, if not, if you want to type up or later on, I can, Jennifer, Karen, can I give out I can give out your email, Secretary.
Oh, yeah.
Jennifer's the Secretary of National, by the way. I can give out that. Karen, I can do,
Yeah.
South VP, so you can always email her there if you have any other questions. Okay?
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, ladies. You can
Yeah.
stay on or take off. That's
We're
why I had to.
always happy to talk about our guild.
Yeah, that's
We
really
are.
good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. It's 7 o'clock for them.
Thank
So,
you.
okay, bye.
Bye.
Or do you want to stay on? You're welcome to do that. Okay.
I'm
Are-
out.
Okay. Bye, Karen. See you later.
Bye.
Okay. Our next topic is shoreline stitchers. I'm sorry, I forgot to add that to the agenda. Shoreline stitchers, as you know, it is the West Coast version of Woodlawns and East Coast, which is a juried needlepoint show, a juried needlework show. And I have here Kim Griffin and Mary Flemings to talk about someone else, perhaps another chapter or a group of people taking on that role and mounting another one because Needles Artists by the Sea, correct me if I'm wrong if I'm wrong, ladies, are unable to handle it to mount another one due to members unable to due to the labor shortage. Let's just say that.
Well, labor and it's
And
we've got
it's intense. It's intense.
basically 3 whole bodies,
Mm-hmm.
that are not handicapped in some extreme way.
Okay,
And
so
it was also finances. I mean,
yeah,
we are in Los Angeles County, which is one of the highest cost of living areas, around. And it's just prices go up not only go up every year, sometimes they really go up.
mm-hmm.
And it's gotten to the point where it's crazy. And
Right.
we have been doing Shoreline Stitcher Showcase for 20 years, which means that back when I opened my big fat mouth at a chapter meeting and said, hey, we ought to do a show, I was 20 years younger. And that's a big deal. Just because we've always done it or always done it this way doesn't mean that we're capable of continuing that. I was hoping that maybe another chapter, maybe with younger members, might be interested in sponsoring Stitcher Showcase. I have gotten some notification from Kathy Farley, who's the Assistant Regional Director for Pacific Southwest Region EGA, that perhaps PSR, Pacific Southwest Region, might be interested in doing that. They're Southern California, Arizona, at least part of Nevada. And I'm not sure where their edges are. And I said to Kathy when she was telling me all this on the phone, hey, maybe Western Region might like to do that. And we have 2 powerhouse
Yeah, so be a combined joint effort.
Yeah, which I think would be not only helpful in getting the showcase itself put together and mounted, but I think it would be historic.
It would be.
I don't think there's ever been an event that was co-sponsored by an EGA and ANG, and I think that it would be great. And I think, among other things, it's going to increase the exhibits, the people that come to the show, and let us show their work, because we're very, very, very heavy currently. Everybody thinks it's a needlepoint show, and it's not. We've got other classes besides needlepoint. So that's
And you feature cross stitching, needle lace. I mean, anything done with a needle. So the thing is, what I'm asking I want to thank Mary for bringing that up, and then Kim has been in charge of it the last couple years. I think did you or helped with it the last couple years with Susan. Did you want to add anything to that, Kim?
It is for us to showcase our needlework, and it is, you're right, I mean, the description of it is anything done with a needle, right? And so we have 12 different categories of things that go in, and yes, I ran it the last time, and the issue that we have is there's work up front, which is things like getting a venue, getting sponsors, and all of the upfront work, as well as registration. And then there's the work at the actual event. And the issue we've had in the past is, how do we get people to come in? We asked our members to come in and provide 2 to 4 hours of volunteer time. And one of the things was, we kept trying to explain to people, you don't have to be on your feet all the time. We'll provide you with chairs. So there's a lot of stuff that goes in putting this thing on. And, as we all know, work is a lot less if you have more bodies. If I could get somebody to do this task and somebody else to do that task, so that it's not a burden on just 3 people, which it has been in the most recent past. So it's a really nice event. I mean, everybody's happy that they've sent their pieces in, because you get judged. But we just basically found the people that helped out with the event was dropping off, and we can't.
Right.
Our
So-
con is we just don't have enough people to put the event on.
Okay, so the question here, because obviously we can't, it's 4:45, is that San Diego chapter board has voted to put together, they're willing to explore looking at this with, and I already talked to Kathy Farley, and she already knows, explore the idea, and she's going to pitch it. There's a PSR meeting, on the 19th,
Yeah,
something like
we-
that.
yeah.
Okay, she's going to pitch the same idea. So what we'd like to do, because I can't take it on, I've got other things that are being done in the future, and I can't talk about it now. But does the other chapters want to participate in exploring the idea? Because it doesn't have to be done in LA. It doesn't have to be done in that county. It could be done in, it'd be nice to have in Southern California. I know some of you are from a different state, like Cherry City and Arizona. San Bernardino is pretty close. But I also see this event as a great leverage or touch point for for us to gain members, because they're going to come to see, We'll also be one of the only one, I think, is a properly juried needlework show.
Judge.
About your counties, San Diego
What did I say?
County.
So be careful of your wording. It is not
Yes.
juried, it is judged.
I'm
Big
sorry,
difference.
a
Big
properly
difference.
judged show. You're right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kim. Properly judged show. Because let me tell you this, at San Diego County, we had a category says stitch like Taylor Swift. What does that mean? What the heck does that mean? Stitch like Taylor Swift.
It's an AI thing.
It's all AI. And apparently that's what they've been using, AI to generate different categories. In our county, they actually judge cross-stitching pieces against needlepoint and cross-stitching, all in the same category. It's all in one. Isn't that horrible? That is horrible. I know, it just chapped my hide. Oh, any case. So this would be the only properly judged needlework show. And it would be nice. I mean, the rules, so think about it.
So just not only just think about it as we have guidelines. There's a big document with guidelines in it. We have, Sue and I are more than willing to go whoever is going to put it on. We're more than willing to come out for the whole show and help out, because there's a lot of subtleties that I don't think there's a lot of subtleties that aren't necessarily in the guidelines, but we know automatically because we've handled the show.
Right.
So Sue and I are willing to volunteer our time. We've got guidelines. We can basically prevent a schedule on how to set it up. We've got a lot of stuff and we're willing to help.
Okay, so Mary, are you going to be talking to Kathy Farley soon? Or you want me to talk to Kathy?
I certainly can.
So the next step would be, assuming that EGA PSR says, okay, we'll put together an exploratory committee. Then what we'll do is maybe set up a date and have anybody via Zoom. And I can also, I have a Zoom account. I'm willing to set up a Zoom account, get it started, but I really can't be part of this committee. But to have people start talking and explore the idea. Obviously with you, Mary, and Kim, kind of guiding what it was like before and talking about what to do. So, and I'm asking the rest of the other representatives of your chapter, if you are willing to, Leslie, I know you're in Sacramento, right? So how can you do Southern California, right? So it could be where, unless you could help remotely or maybe just fly down, I'm just suggesting you don't have to do it. Or take it up to Northern California, so it could be in San Bernardino County. But the thing is, I like to see the chapters on both sides represented, to have a make it and take it. And to see, I think would increase our membership quite a bit, but also see people the true value of needlework, not just the one the county fairs have been. So I'll tell you what, so the next step is, please go back, talk to your chapters, see if anybody's willing to volunteer. It's an exploratory committee. Nothing has been promised, no money, no labor, just to see if it's going to work out. Okay? Don't worry about doing a Zoom meeting. I can set one up. That will be free. Okay? All of that. Mary, can you come back with me and set up at least with Kathy, whoever wants to do on the EPA side?
Yeah, I'm going to go to the regional meeting, PSR regional meeting.
Okay, then yes.
I'll report back.
And Mary, thank you for your big mouth. It's a good thing you opened it 20 years ago, because we need something like this.
Yeah, well, it's changed. It's grown. And I am super, super proud of it.
Good. And we don't want to let that go. And people don't know what our needle art is.
Correct.
That die.
Absolutely.
So let's see if we can rally something together. I will also be sending out this recording to everybody, so you can make sure to play this portion you like, or the whole portion. All right, we have about it's 4:51. We got 9 minutes left. I'd like to have chapters share what's going on. First off with San Bernardino, really quick. Who's here from San Bernardino? Caroline? And who else is from San Bernardino? It's only Caroline. All right.
I'm not actually here from San Bernardino. I'm here from South Bay Needleworkers.
Oh, South Bay. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Okay. So, if you guys are on the SCANG, my chapter's Instagram or Facebook page, for the last 38 days. I've been posting Denver class project. Well, Kim, you saw all of them, right? For those who are there. For every day plus the video. So San Bernardino is hosting the Kim, who is it? Pat Perez wanted me to let you know on the chapter's behalf. If you want to do any Janet Ziegler Casey's Halloween stuff or all her classes for seminar, she is piloting them that in April 2026 in San Bernardino, really Ontario, at a museum. Okay, just to let you know, all of Janice Casey's are in San Bernardino for 2026 Denver. So that's what I'm sharing on their behalf. Okay, I'll just open up. Anything else the chapters want to share about any future workshops or anything you're doing?
This is Leslie. We thought we were going to be a chapter that would be closing by the end of the year because we could not get any volunteers to do the executive board. And Brenda Plass, you know her, she has been very busy and has found volunteers for every position,
Good for
even
her.
president. But
Good
the
for her.
president's only for a year, so we'll see what happens at the end of the year.
Okay.
So it looks like we'll be continuing.
Good for you, Leslie. I'm really happy to hear that. I would have
Well,
been
it's really
upset.
Brenda. She had the energy and really put it together.
So maybe now that you're not going to be president, maybe you can see you in Denver.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that. Anything else? Kathy?
I was gonna say
sorry,
we
go
have
ahead.
a fund tomorrow. Gwen, one of our members, is going to be teaching Halloween stitches. So we have practice canvases, so that'll be fun.
Okay, good. That's a good program to consider.
Yeah.
For the future. Yeah. Anyone else want to share what's going on with the chapter?
So I wanted to share from South Bay Needleworkers. Now we had a slightly different problem. We were hemorrhaging members. And we found out that one of the reasons why we were hemorrhaging members is because we were doing too many programs and they were too expensive. So we decided what we were going to do was we were going to cut it down to about six stitched and lectures a year. And then we'd have 2 stitch-ins and just take the summer off because no one is able to come anyway. We also added a stitch-in at the library, and we've actually gotten 3 new members since we started doing that in May.
Fantastic, Caroline.
Also, we started doing smaller but more showy projects, and we've been taking them over to the local EGA chapter because some of us are joint members. And we've gotten people oohing and ahhing over them at the EGA meetings. And so we've gotten 4 people to join from EGA.
Yay! See, we're poaching. It's called poaching.
We are.
Thank you, Caroline. I see my program chair, Pam Bloomberg. Can't even talk now. From SDNG is online. We're doing approximately the same thing. Pam, you want to talk about what we've done in the past? I don't know if she hears me or not. Okay, let me tell you, in December, we managed to get Alice Platier. Do you know who she is? I'll share it with you. She is an author. Let's see.
Sorry, Shirley, I couldn't get off of mute.
Oh.
But I'm off of mute now.
Okay, so she is an author. I was telling her, Pam, how you got her to come.
Yep.
And her latest book, One Stitch, is it called One Stitch?
One Sharp Stitch.
One Short Stitch. Okay.
Sharp. One sharp
stitch. One Sharp Stitch. There you go. It is a needlepoint mystery, believe it or not. And she had to learn needlepoint in 1 month before she wrote the book.
Wow.
Can you believe that?
Wow.
Now, member of our chapter, you could be a remote member of our chapter for our a program for December 6th. She's our guest speaker and she'll be there in person. And even for remote members, I think we're underwriting a copy of her signed book.
Oh,
So
cool.
think about it if you want to join us. But so that's one of the things we've done. Allie is a fantastic speaker. Man, was she a lot of fun. She spoke at seminar and she was just great entertaining if you haven't heard her before. So that's what we want to share from San Diego. We got more. And you're right, Caroline. We mix and match. I think she's gone, right? Oh, when you have too many programs, you know, sometimes you want something else in between. Okay, anybody else?
Needle Artist chapter has a program plan where every year we do a year-long project. And that takes up between 3 to 5 meeting programs. And so that's the big project for the year. A much smaller, much more reasonable, do it in a month kind of programs in between. So that's kind of how we've stumbled into doing this.
Right, and it's much more cost effective.
Yeah.
So another idea, Caroline, to think about. Yeah.
And the chapter, I forget what you call it, the chapter stitch book, the chapter project book has a lot of things, and those have been like what Mary and Kim have taught and things that are small projects. You don't have to pay for the chart, and a lot of it, like the stacking that you did and things, they can be done with threads you already have. So
It's Stash Busters.
Stash, yeah.
They're great stash busters. By the way, I've learned that some of you, well, not you particularly, but some people now have asking me, they don't know how to get to the chapter project book. I assume all of you guys know how to do that, right?
It would be great if we had a procedure written someplace because it's not intuitive.
Right. They're updating it. There is one. So they're redoing the website.
Okay.
But in the meantime, I can show you how, or someone can contact me later. We'll do a quick Zoom meeting and I can show them how to do that.
I always call Kathy Edwards because she seems to have it down.
Shirley is the one that showed me how to do it, and she wrote a little thing, and I shared that with some people out here that weren't lucky to be part of Western area region, and they changed it since then.
Okay, well, we'll have to redo it again. Okay.
Right, but you can still find it, and there's actually more that you can see now if you're not in the leader group or whatever. You can get in and you can see the projects for the last several project books. So people can look at them and say, oh, I really like that. Can somebody report on what's involved and things?
Yeah. So if you come there, I know they're updating that. What you can always do is the chapter. You're right. Kathy's right. So under chapters, chapter project book. So you can look at just the pictures. Okay.
And every member can get to that part.
Every member can get, and if you do a Zoom meeting, you can get to it and then show it to people. So that's kind of a fun thing to do. It's only the last 3 years of it. So I stitched this one. That was a kind of fun one to do, by the way.
But if you look, those are a lot of well-known needlepoint teachers.
Yes, they are.
All their projects. Yes.
Mondarian. Exactly. And so to get to the project books, it's under groups. All of you, because you're chapter board members, look under groups, and everyone is a leader. Okay, just think of yourself as leaders. You are leaders. Okay, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You are leaders.
Yes, ma'am.
Here's the project book right here. And here's the link to that. So just think as a leader, and you click on this one, and here are all the instructions. There you go.
Yeah.
Easy peasy.
They're grouped in several years together.
Yeah.
And you have to, when you sign into each group, you have to acknowledge that you're going to, abide by the rules. You can tell, I know Val Reese was one of the people that was involved in putting it together. And sometimes some of the years have a cover page that has each year project for the year, and you can see the name of it or the number and find the instructions. And others, it's not so easy, but that's because
Right.
nobody thought that, oh, this would be a great treasure trove to have.
Right. And well, this is 1987. You know, you may want to look at it and say, hey, here's a challenge. Can you do it in whatever stash you have? I mean,
Right.
you can't be
Right.
wrong, right? What are you going to do? Fire you? You're fired now, Kathy. You know, Joan, I'm going to put you on restriction for stitching this with this thread.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
So,
God, the
eh,
needlework police.
Yeah, we are. We are the terrible police. Okay. It is now 5:02. I will send this out in a couple days. I want to thank all of you. I'm glad you came. I want to wish you all happy holidays.
Same.
I'm
Yes.
I have 5. We'll have to. I have 5 cruises coming up
Oh,
in 18 months. So
fun.
I will.
You poor thing.
I know. John really wanted to go. So my husband is anxious to get out there. But happy holidays. I will set up another one before I go to Hawaii. I know. My
When are
life
you
is-
going, when are you going to Hawaii?
Later part of January. So I'm going to try to do after the new year a Zoom meeting, partly early January. Doesn't mean you won't hear from me, because once Mary goes to EGA and we set up a date, we'll try to do the first Zoom date probably after the holidays, I would assume, right, Mary? Or do you think during the holidays is kind of hard? You know, just have a
It-
chat.
But
But-
I don't
Well-
want to step on PSR's toes.
Well, that's true.
I
We're
speak-
just gonna have to, so
So-
you guys have to decide that. Well, whatever.
Yeah.
So you will still hear from me no matter what, okay?
okay.
Great.
All right.
Thank
Thank you,
Very
ladies.
much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Bye-bye.
Thank